Good morning, Catalyst. My name is Carlos Gonzalez. I'm going to ask you to please top off your coffee, go ahead and wrap up your conversations, and find a seat. We'll be starting in 5 minutes.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, I can hear me. All right. Hey, what's up, y'all? Grab your coffee if you come on back to your seats. I see that everybody's afraid of the splash zone. I promise I won't spit too much. So come on close if you'd like. Hey, grateful to have you here. I got a couple things. Just wanted to start. Some of you, probably most of you know who I am. Not that I'm all that. I just, I kind of tend to be loud. But my name's John. Hey, come on, relax back there. Who's back there? Yeah, Juanito, I appreciate that. Well, my name is John Torres. I am the Director of Community Care here with City Ministry Network, and this is Catalyst you guys are at, which I'm sure you all know that. This is a monthly gathering of people in the county that are like-minded, want to see improvement in their community, or even just to see things continue forward, and so we're grateful that you're here. Let's see. Myself, I'm the director of the Latino Leadership Initiative, which you're going to hear from a couple people from that today. I think next month too as well. And so, we've now impacted 78 people in our community that want to change or encourage things that are going well in the community. So really, it's actually kind of my favorite thing I do, to be honest. This is a close second, though. I'll be, just because you guys are amazing. So the purpose of Catalyst, right? So Catalyst is a place for community conversation and connection that will inspire, that will encourage people to do things in the community. It's a safe place, so please keep it that way. I mentioned a sandbox once before, and so don't do gross stuff in my sandbox. Be nice to each other, all right? And so we like to explore issues and have conversations about community stuff and things. We're a diverse group of people that maybe always don't think the same, but we all have a commonality of trying to be good to each other, right? So we listen, we hear, and then we give our input and stuff. But yeah, just make sure you continue to foster that idea. And then our hope is that you will connect with each other, share kind of your vision and your passion of what you're doing and how you're doing it. And then and hopefully our hope is that you begin to build trust together, because really that's how things get done in our community, is trusted relationship. And so we ask that you guys share those passions, and then try to figure out how to work together, right? Maybe go grab coffee, learn more about what each other's doing, that kind of stuff. Man, we just really want to encourage you in that kind of stuff, all right? You would think I had this memorized, but I don't. I have a horrible memory. So I would like to give it up for our sponsors. We got a few sponsors that I'd like to highlight. Or we'd like to give you Zoom. Zoom is one of our sponsors? Man, we should have a lot of money. All right, so Zoom expectations. Please mute your audio. Use the chat feature. We got my man Carlos in the back. Give it up for Carlos, that handsome boy back there. Welcome, everybody on Zoom. I'm usually back there. They usually put me in the corner. They put baby in the corner all the time. So I'm not there with you guys, but, man, I miss you. So here's a couple of sponsors. Starbucks. Thank you, Starbucks, for your coffee, which I brewed, so you can thank me later if you want. A couple of our sponsors. So Access Plus Capital is one of them. We're grateful for them. We're a 501c3, so to keep these things going, we need support, right? So these are some of the people that have done that for us. Oak Valley Bank, Community Bank, Rolling F Credit Union, Fletcher's Dentistry, Stanislaus Equity Partners as well, and I think that's everybody. Yeah, so if you can give it up for our sponsors, that'd be great. Hey, if you're interested in being a sponsor, there's a QR code on the table. Man, I'm selfishly plugging. I'm trying to get money from you guys. Look at that. Look at your tables. There's QR codes there, man. We would love to have you support us, and then you get your cool name up there, right? So that'd be awesome. So a few things: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, that kind of thing. If you're in the social medias, make sure you check in. Let your friends know where you're at, who you're hanging out with. That'd be awesome. So check in there and follow us if you're not, because if you're not following us, you're missing out. I'm telling you, we got some cool stuff happening. You got to trust me on that. All right, so before we get into the morning, I got a little fun something for you. We got a little video, being that we're going back to school. Some of y'all got kids. My kids are all grown, so I don't have to worry about none of this no more. I am way past this. My youngest is 22. I'm like, I don't even know what you're doing anymore. Who are you? I don't even know who you are. Just pay me rent. I'm just kidding. She don't pay rent. She needs to, though. Are you listening? You need to start paying rent, girl. All right, so we're going to do a little video. I think Mark's... Oh, can we give it up for Mark? I never give Mark kudos. Mark's back there. Mark, I appreciate you, dog. Like, you always got my back. He's going to start... Look at you looking away like you shy. You know you love it. All right, so we're going to start this video. You guys check this out for us.
Thank you.
Miss you. Love you guys.
Miss them.
You're gonna miss them? I mean, bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye. I'm packing these tonight, 'cause summer
time's been a fright. Yeah, all they do is fight. It's ridiculous. I love you endlessly, but I'm out of activities. So now it's time to leave and get on that bus. I just don't wanna clean the floor one more time. I want to see you out that door. Bye, bye, bye. Don't wanna be cruel to you, but it's so much better when there's school for you. Yeah, I just bought all of your school supplies. Bye, bye, bye. Time to grab all your stuff. Don't forget I love you, but I've had enough. Time to go learn how to multiply. Bye, bye, bye.
Had that choreographed too. I was about to get you guys with my bye, but you know, whatever. Well, they said not to. I'm like, okay, cool. All right, hey, so next up, we're gonna do a little table talk. Well, we got a poem for you, so I think we're gonna throw it up on the screen, but I'm gonna read it to you, and then we're gonna jump into table talk. So this poem is from Steve Jobs, apparently. So here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can praise them, disagree with them, quote them, disbelieve them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They invent, they imagine, they heal. They explore, they create, and they inspire. They push the human race forward. So, with that poem, we'll leave it up. Here's a little table talk question for you. Respond to that poem. When in your life have you been considered a crazy one? That's my whole life. Hey, come on, why you laugh at that? You knew that, huh? Look at you. You ain't right. You ain't right. So when have you been considered a crazy one? What thoughts does this poem well up in you? So let's go ahead and talk at our tables. All right, let's wrap up the questions. I forgot to tell you guys, you have to vote for the craziest one at your table. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I already know who the craziest one at the table over here is, so it's probably Doug. So welcome back. I'll go ahead and finish up your conversations. We're going to get things started here. So just to kind of let you guys know what we're doing here today, we're going to actually highlight three of our community, emerging leaders in our community to share with us some of the dreams of making their community better, improving the community, or doing something for the community. So we're really looking forward. I'm really looking forward to them. They've been a part of the program, the initiative, the Latino Leadership Initiative. So they're like my babies. Even though they're probably my age, but whatever. So I'm really, really excited to introduce them. So they're going to, here's something for you. On the tables, you have like little comment cards maybe. Sandy, will you hold that up for me? You just grabbed it, that card right there. Yeah, that one. So yeah, put it up in the air like that. So those are at your table. You're going to have three presenters today. If there's something that they say, if all three of them say something that you're really interested in or intrigued by, man, would you write them either a thank you note, an encouraging letter, maybe, hey, here's my information. I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to hear more about this vision that you have. And we'll collect those at the end, and we'll get them to them so they can reach out to you. But just even some words of encouragement might go a really long way. So please make sure you fill those out. There's pens and stuff at the tables. And if there's not enough cards, let me know. I will grab more for you. So first up, I'm going to introduce my man, George. George, come on up, dog. I'm going to do your bio. Yeah, give it. Oh, man, you already got the claps, bro. I didn't even give your bio yet. So George is a proud Marine Corps combat veteran with service from 2005 to 2011. He experienced 2 deployments to Iraq, serving as an M1A1 tank crewman and a Marine Corps drill instructor. The cool thing is he was the last tank battalion. Is that right? Dang, look at me. Yeah, see? Look, I know, I'll be listening. Academically, he is currently pursuing his studies at the University of Pacific, preparing for a master's degree in constitutional law and public advocacy at McGeorge School of Law. There's more, hold on, we're almost there. We got you. Professionally, he is the CEO of the nonprofit Veterans in Action Incorporated, where he passionately advocates for veterans' rights and their reintegration into society. He's married to Crystal, his love, and is the proud father of 4 girls. Straight girl dad right here. Come on, let's go. Give it up for my man, George.
You guys are clapping for me. Don't boo me off, okay? So good morning. Thank you for the introduction. So my name is George Retana. As mentioned, I am a Marine Corps combat veteran with multiple deployments to Iraq, and also the CEO of Veterans in Action Incorporated. But I'm also a survivor of 2 IED blasts, meaning I've been blown up twice in Iraq. I've been blown up to the point where I suffered a traumatic brain injury, was pulled out of a burning vehicle while under fire. So I've seen the real live things of combat, not the stuff you see on TV. But I'm also not just surviving traumatic brain injury, but post-traumatic stress disorder. And I'm also a suicide survivor. I attempted suicide after my second deployment by gun. I tried to shoot myself 3 different times because of what I came back with from Iraq. Alcohol abuse and different things. I've been sober now for over 14 years. But the reason why I say this is because, like many veterans, I faced the formidable challenges of transitioning from active duty military back into the civilian life. And today, I stand here before you not just as a Marine Corps veteran that's going to share data and statistics with you, but I'm here to try to ignite a commitment for action and be a voice for my brothers and sisters in arms. Clicker's not working. Next slide, please. So in this past year, I've dedicated 2 full academic semesters at the University of Pacific to research involving 86 veterans that I've interviewed from Vietnam era all the way into our era, male, female veterans, combat and non-combat veterans. And this research that I've conducted is in the process of being published and actually can be made available to anyone here that is interested. This work is also supplemented by over 300 hours of directly engaging with these veterans through comprehensive surveys, interviews, and meaningful interactions. And during this research, I was able to identify crucial areas where community support can truly make a significant difference. In this research, our veterans made their voices known, stating that it was of necessity that they needed community support systems, right? And as you can see, the statistics behind me, you can read them, take a picture if you want. In 2022, over 35,574 veterans were homeless, right? As you look at the population, veterans only make up 6% of the United States adult population, yet make up over 14% of all adult suicides. And the numbers are up there. The numbers don't lie. These numbers don't just represent data, they represent lives. And this is how we as a community have the power to change this. So as the veterans voiced what they needed most in community, 5 key things came up, and that was family involvement, educational and employment opportunities, accessible access to health care, and community support, fostering community. My research in this area found that community support was one of the biggest dictators of how well veterans would adjust back into civilian life, right? And I want you to think of it this way. Think of it from a score of 0, meaning there's no connection, to a 1, meaning perfect connection. Everything I did in this data came back at a 0.7, meaning that this score meant almost a perfect connection of how society plays a role when veterans get out and reintegrate back into the community, meaning that there is such a positive correlation, there's such a positive link that the more support our community gives, the better veterans are at reintegrating. 22 veterans committing suicide a day, that's not good, that's bad, right? These are men and women that supported our nation, have fought for our freedom and our democracy. And this isn't just a minor detail, it's a significant factor that can truly enhance a veteran's life the more community gets involved. So in response to this research, in response to this, myself and my board of directors, we launched a civic engagement action plan where we are attacking the extensive part of the research that is highlighted the most, right? We've developed this plan to address the employment and educational opportunities betterment for veterans, right? We're expanding on educational opportunities by partnering up with local universities such as the one I'm at, the University of Pacific, Modesto Junior College, Stan State, and so forth, right? And by doing this, we're helping empowering veterans post-transition. We've also been teaming up with mental health services. I've teamed up and met with BHRS director and other ones. And how can we get veterans mental health services here in the now versus, hey, we can't help you, let's send you over to Livermore, Palo Alto, or Stockton, right? Also, the community engagement aspect, where we are strengthening community connections by collaborating with local dignitaries, leaders, and nonprofits. I've been working with some of the board of supervisors and just highlighting the necessity and the great need in our veteran community, because this ensures that the community is there for our veterans, because they deserve it. Support services, our focus on that area has been providing comprehensive aid that nurtures faith, family, community, mental health, suicide prevention, and basically addressing the holistic needs of veteran. And one of the biggest things that came back in my study was fostering camaraderie. One of the hardest things about transition is when we're in the military, we have something called a tribe, our tribal closeness, that bond with our brothers and sisters. When you leave that and you come back, a lot of times we come back into a society that has no room for its veterans, right? There may be a lot of program, but there's still 22 veterans a day committing suicide. So fostering that strong and supportive bond, which is crucial for integration, conducting regular social events and support networks. And to amplify the impact of these initiatives, we are collaborating with other veteran community or organizations currently that share in our mission, pooling our resources, collaborating, using our expertise to have a broader impact, to have a deeper reach. And today I invite each and every one of you to join us on this crucial mission. Join us in solidarity. Join us at our events, whether it's through volunteering, whether it's through advocacy, whether it's through donations, whether it's through policy reform or legislation reform, which is some of the stuff I'm working at, because the power starts at the top, but we the people have the voice, right? Whether it's through engagement or vital transforming these statistics from just data and horror stories into life and hope. And I want to thank you all for your commitment. We can go to the next slide. Because as you stand with us here today, as you stand with veterans from every era, right? We all know a veteran. We at least know one veteran, someone that has served this nation. Together with your active engagement, we can ensure that no veteran has to navigate the transition into civilian life by themselves. With your support, when veterans return home, when they come back into our cities, back into our communities, back into our neighborhoods, right, there will be room for them in our society. With your support, we can foster this camaraderie, right? While they're on active service, as they're getting ready, we can get them before they get lost, right? So let's help me to turn this collective gratitude that we have as a nation into a more proactive support, right? So that not only are we honoring the sacrifices that these men and women have fought for our freedoms, right, but also ensuring that they receive the support in every aspect of their life that they so rightfully deserve. Let us not just make a difference, but let's be the difference for our men and women in uniform who have risked their lives day in and day out for our freedom and for our democracy. Because one day of thanks a year isn't enough. I've been there where I've missed holidays and birthdays and been deployed. 2006, 2007, 2008, I was in Iraq, right? Missing a lot of things only to come back to a society that had no room for me. So one day of thanks is not enough. It's not just about thanking our veterans, but let's be that nation. Let's be that community. Let's be that society that makes room for veterans at the table. With all the information I've shared, all the data, the veterans have spoken. They need community. We need community. And I want to thank you all. God bless our troops and God bless America. Thank you.
Man, yeah, super grateful for George. I mean, yeah, we all have family, right? Sometimes I don't pay attention to that, and yeah, I'll send a text to my cousin that's serves, but I don't hear a lot from him, and so being able to be in the same room with George, it really heightened my awareness of veterans. And so, man, if you are interested in supporting him, being a part of what he's doing, learning more, his name's George Ratana. I think his information is still up there, but if you write your information on that card and get that to us, we will get it to him. So thanks, George, for sharing. Next up is my man, Carlos Garza. So come on up, Carlos. So Carlos is a fledgling, yeah, give it up. That's my guy right here. Carlos is a fledgling media producer with a focus on podcasting. Currently in his day job, he is employed at Stanislaus County. He's a student at MJC and is sharpening his academic skills with an eye toward communication. Outside all this, he enjoys collecting vinyl records. My guy, that's what I do. And spending time with his nephews and his ladies. So give it up for my man, Carlos.
Morning, everybody. I'd like to thank everybody for their time today. My name is Carlos Garza, and I'm excited to present my civic engagement action plan to you all. Joining the Latino Leadership Initiative has taught me a lot over the last 6 months. It's helped me recognize my strengths, specifically in relationship, building, and communication. I want to use these strengths to create a podcast. These podcasts will highlight our community's achievements, promote civic engagement, and connect local leaders with residents. By documenting this impactful work, I hope to encourage greater civic engagement in our area. Before I dive into specifics, I'd like to share some of my background. Give me this slide. I'm 42 years old, and I'm a proud first-generation Mexican-American. My parents migrated from Mexico and settled and raised a family here. I've lived in various cities in this area, and for the past 8 years, I've called Modesto home. I take great pride in our community. I feel it's important for us to advocate for its growth and to continue nurturing its success. In order to be successful, we need to take advantage of our diverse population. Even though we're a smaller city, we are tremendously diverse. I feel it's our responsibility to ensure we are all heard. The more we take everyone's opinions into consideration, the stronger our community can become. Back in 2014, I launched a podcast called the More on Eyes podcast. In hindsight, it probably wasn't the best name, but at the time I was fascinated with podcasting. Recording the show allowed me to share informal and insightful information with a diverse group of individuals. This group of people included college professors, recovering addicts, comedians, rappers, former gang members, and nonprofit directors. I'm extremely proud of the show I created, but now I recognize that it lacked direction and focus. Although I had interesting guests with compelling stories, my first attempt at podcasting lacked intention. So building on my past experiences, I'm launching a new show called That 209 Podcast. The goal of the show is to spotlight individuals making significant community contributions. Activists and volunteers working behind the scenes will have an opportunity to share their stories. Each month, the podcast will feature a 40-minute conversation. My goal is to release 24 episodes over a 2-year span. The show's gonna be informative, but we'll focus more on a conversation-type style rather than a traditional interview. I want the listeners to feel as if they're eavesdropping on an engaging dialogue instead of tired question and answer formats. The podcast is going to cover a variety of guests and topics, from local initiatives, community projects, and personal stories of struggle and success. For example, one episode might highlight an emerging community leader who has a new local project, while another could focus on grassroots organizations working to provide resources for underserved populations. I want to share the challenges these individuals face and their innovative solutions. I also want the podcast to reach out to everyone, especially those who feel disconnected from our local civic efforts. By presenting these stories in an engaging way, I hope to inspire civic involvement. My biggest goal is to spark curiosity and interest among all listeners, helping to build a more inclusive and active community. I'm committed to advocating for our community and highlighting its achievements. I want this to become a resource for the community, a resource that I truly needed as a youth but didn't exist yet. My mission is to be a conduit between our leaders and those who feel change is seemingly impossible. That 209 podcast is my commitment to amplify our voice, to celebrate our growth, and to document our progress. I look forward to sharing these stories with you all. Thanks again for your time. I'm excited for the journey ahead, and I hope you'll listen and support that 209 podcast. After we're done, please feel free to come up, and if you have anything you'd like to share, or potential guests, or just get in my ear about something, we can talk more about the podcast. I'd really enjoy that. Thank you.
Man, give it up. So my man's, we get time together pretty often. He's got great questions, engages well. I'm telling you, if you want to get known, you're going to want to get on that podcast. So holla at him. Make sure you get your name in there. I'm trying to get on the first episode. I might slide him a 20 and say, hey, yo, get your boy up there one time. No, so yeah, really excited about that. It's really encouraging. I'm not the best reader. And so Marvin makes fun of me all the time. I learn from podcasts. Those are the things that I enjoy. And so being able to bring an expert into the room and then I get to hear and learn from that, it's just a huge blessing. So I'm really looking forward to this podcast. Hopefully I can work closely with him to help get that going. So excited. Thank you, Carlos. That was awesome. All right, next up, Estella. Come on up. I'm going to introduce you. Yeah. So Estella is a Cal Poly Pomona graduate with a degree in English education. She currently is the Community Engagement Associate at the Parent Institute for Quality Education, or PIQUE, as it's well known here in our community. First-generation American, Estella is the oldest of 6 children from a noble migrant Mexican family. She enjoys reality television. Me too, girl, you know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to, who's getting that rose? Who's getting that rose? Reality television, reading, swimming, and plants. Her favorite thing about our community is the sense of community and hominess. So give it up for Estella.
I'm a little shorter than everyone else. Good morning. I'm so excited to share space with you all this morning. My name's Estella, and I will be sharing my Latino Leaders Action Plan, and it's around documenting Latino stories here in the Central Valley. Next slide. Next one. So I know John mentioned a little bit about myself, but who I am goes hand in hand with this project, so let me share a little bit more. I was born and raised here in Modesto, so I'm a Central Valley native. I did get my English education degree at Cal Poly Pomona, and so I've always been a writer in some capacity, and this goes hand in hand with the project that I'm working on. And I am the Community Engagement Associate for PIQUE. We lead the multilingual consortium here in the Central Valley, and we also do family engagement work. So we work with parents, specifically first-generation families, to better understand the K-12 system, the university system here in the United States. Next slide. A little bit about my project. This will be a collection of interviews, interviewing Latino leaders here in the Central Valley. It will come in 2 different formats. So the first being a podcast. It will have a visual and audio component where people can listen in to a 30-minute conversation that I have with that person. And then the second component would be a physical, written, extensive version, which will have a much more extensive version of what we talked about instead of just the 30 minutes. This will all be housed on a website and readily accessible for you all. And each interview will be dependent on the conversation and the interview questions that we asked. Each person is different, and I believe that everybody has a different contribution to this community, and so it will all be different conversations. Next. So my project objectives revolve around these 4 up here, and the themes include resilience, storytelling, success, failures, leadership, vulnerability, and life advice. The first objective is to really capture and share the stories of Latino leaders here in the Central Valley. As of July 2022, the overall population in the Central Valley is 7.2 million people, and Latinos make up 2.4 million of that population. So I believe that we ourselves should be able to see our stories reflected back to us and the makeup of our community. The second objective is to inspire and empower readers by highlighting resilience, success, and vulnerability. The third is to really gain a deeper appreciation for Latinos in the community and the culture. And the fourth is to document Latino contributions and provide a community resource for classrooms to be able to look back on Central Valley history. So, why is this important to me? Historically, Latinos have not been included in conversations. An example of this is in the book, The Undocumented Americans by Carla Cornejo Villavicencio. She talks about a group of undocumented men from different Latin American countries who helped in the search and rescue of individuals, as well as the cleanup of the 9/11 aftermath. Stories like this often get forgotten, and they matter. Stories like this matter. I also believe we are our history keepers. I believe that we should take responsibility for our own history and be able to write them ourselves from a cultural narrative and perspective. Thirdly, I've always looked up to my community for help. Storytelling is such a generational thing within Latino in communities, and it is a key component to this project to create trans-generational spaces. We should look to younger generations and older generations to learn from each other. I think this will be a great opportunity to speak and learn from each other. And how will this benefit the community? 1, it will preserve and celebrate the diverse stories and contributions of Latino leaders, as well as inspire and empower readers while promoting community engagement. It will also serve as a valuable historical resource for the community and educational institutions, and it will also ensure the legacies of today's leaders for future generations, contributing to a more inclusive narrative of Central Valley history. And before I walk off the stage, I want to leave you with a quote from Philip Hum, who does a master class on storytelling. Through the art of storytelling, we can preserve our heritage, educate future generations, and inspire change. I welcome your support with this project with suggestions, resources, or questions. I will also stay behind after if you want to chat. I've put up a QR code, there you go, that will take you to an intake form, and you can contact me directly at the official email to this project. And I've also added my work email for any PK matters. I appreciate all of your time and for taking the time to come and learn more. And I hope you all have a lovely day.
Man, awesome. So, yeah, that actually speaks to my heart. I mean, here's the thing. I've looked for things like that to promote. I'm a Latino myself, and it's hard to find stuff like that. So I'm really encouraged. You can't just have our food. Our food's good too, right? So our leadership's got to be just as good, you know what I'm saying? So get you a little flavor one time. Learn a little something from our people. So I'm really encouraged about that. That's really exciting. we also host Hispanic youth leadership clubs, and sometimes it's hard to find to highlight Latinos because that 9/11 thing. I had no idea. Did you guys ever hear of this book or anybody? I'm here getting head shakes. No, I was like, man, that's intriguing. Like, I would love to know more about that kind of stuff. So, Estella, thank you. That was awesome. Yeah, I like the woo. Let's go. All right, so I would not be doing myself a service if I didn't mention. These are all graduates now from our initiative, the Latino Leadership Initiative. Yeah, let's go. So they worked hard for 8 months. Got it done. I will say this, the Latino Leadership Initiative isn't just for Latinos. Again, the population is reflective of a lot of Latinos. But man, so if you're going to be leading in our community, you're probably going to be leading some Latinos in the community, right? So learning how Latinos lead could be beneficial to you in a way. So if you know anybody or you are interested in being a part of the initiative, please reach out to me. We're going to be recruiting here soon. I'm the guy that kind of sits with you, kind of talks you through the overview, that kind of stuff. So we'd love to connect with you. If you know somebody in your community or in your work or your staff, your homeboy, your homegirl, whatever that is, and you think that, man, I want to invest in them as a leader, come shoot them my way. We would love to invest in them. We would love to encourage them. Again, I say it often. I used to be a youth pastor, so I'm about to rhyme for you real quick. We don't mold our leaders, we unfold them, right? So their heart and their desire and what they're passionate about, we come alongside them and say, how do we help you get there? And a lot of times it's the connections that we have like this with you all. You guys are all amazing leaders in our community. Getting them and plugged in with you, getting them in front of you right now. You probably never have met any three of these, right? And three of our speakers. Now you have a connection with them, and they may be speaking about something that's passionate to you as well. So that's our secret sauce. That's what we try to do. So, man, if you have anybody that you think would be blessed by this initiative, please come talk to me. I'll get your information. We'll connect. Or even if you are interested in being a part, we would love to have you be a part. Again, you don't have to be Latino. It's just a way to teach how Latinos lead. So that being said, we're going to go into our second table talk, and then we're going to wrap up here pretty soon. So our second table talk. If I didn't need to worry about earning a living, man, yes. Oh. Let's rewind. If you could free up space in your schedule, where would you love to dedicate your time to help people in your community? So there's your question. Have a conversation. Leah will let you know when we're done. All right? Enjoy.
All right, I'm going to pull you out of your conversations. I hope that around each one of your tables, you're coming up with amazing ways to impact our community. So LLI challenges each one of the participants to think, how can you make a difference in the community? And they make them come up with a plan and then carry out. We've seen so many different great plans going on in the community from our LLI grads. But I think we certainly want to challenge each person in this room. Some of you are already involved in your nonprofits and doing different things in the community, but to be, if there's some dream, some passion, somebody needs to do something about this in our community and nobody's doing anything, to grab a friend, start making real plans, get intentional, and see what can happen. See how we can really make a difference in our community, because it does happen. It takes time, and it happens over time, but it does happen. And it can change over time. You have your passions and things you're involved in, and then I know, like for myself, recently my mom had a stroke last year, and then all of a sudden your time is being spent differently. You're involved in different things, and she's starting to be more stable now and doing well, and my mind is going back to, okay, now what do I get involved in? Now what do I do? And so trying to be intentional again and think about that. And so each one of us, throughout the seasons of our life, thinking about how can I not only go to work 9 to 5, as we were talking about, but then how can I also get involved with friends in my community? So I hope that's the challenge as you go out of here today. I hope each one of you will touch base with our speakers, give them ideas for who could be on the podcast, who can be interviewed for Latino history, and also get involved in helping the veterans. I'm excited about the projects that you guys and the difference you want to make in the community. So I'll just say a quick prayer, and then we'll disperse for the day. God, I want to thank you so much for this group, for each one of the leaders that have come through LLI, God, and are plugged in and making a difference in the community. And for each person in this room that I know is plugged in and making a difference. God, I pray that you would continue to encourage hearts, give us that strength, give us that stamina and patience to keep going every day to really make a difference. In your name, amen. All right, thank you guys.